Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Dapper Dash. Today's video is not a tutorial per se. I actually wanted to show you a live demonstration of something that I've been seeing trending a lot on the internet. Now, in the world of AI, we've heard a lot about using ChatGPT, GPT-4, even tools like Midjourney for image, artificial intelligence, image creation. And I've seen a lot of videos on how people leverage these tools to help us out as developers, whether it's Tableau, PowerBi, Excel, SQL, whatever it may be. The application is endless. And lately what I've been seeing on the internet is Photoshop's AI capabilities using Generative Fill. Now, if you don't know what Generative Fill is, it's essentially Adobe Photoshop's version of an AI image creation tool. Now, I have the beta version of Photoshop, so I have Generative Fill on my computer, and I wanted to test out the capabilities and see what it can provide to me as a Power BI developer. So I'm going to turn on my computer and I'm going to load some images and let's see what happens. All right, so here I am in my Photoshop session, and let's just first see what Generative Fill can do on a normal image. I'm not going to load a dashboard quite yet. I just want to see what the possibilities are when we start to enhance a regular image. So here I have this image of this baby and these two dogs. And the first thing I'll notice about this image is I don't really like this background. There's a few sprinkler flags and then there's this giant wall. But I know that with Generative Fill, I should be able to swap this background out, and I should be able to give Photoshop a prompt of what it is that I want to see. Okay, but the first thing I'm going to do is first I'm going to see what it generates on its own. So I'm going to go ahead and click Generative Fill. I'm not going to give it a prompting. Okay, so it looks like it takes pixels from the sample and then it generated this image. Now it does give me 3 images to browse through. I kind of like this one a little bit more. And just like another meta. Okay, I kind of like this one. That was just Generative Fill rendering something for me without any input. Now let's see what we can do if we actually give it an input to generate from. So let me select once again the background that I didn't really like. And this time I'm going to ask Generative Fill to create flower garden, right? I want something. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. Now, this is something that I actually really like. I would not mind sharing this. I think it looks a lot nicer. Let's see what other options it gave me. It looks like, I don't know what this is. It almost looks like I blended a bridge with some flowers and then just some roses on the other side. I actually really liked this one. So you can see that this is the image we had originally. This is the AI generated image that Generative Fill did on its own. And then this is the one where we prompted it to give us a flower garden. So we know that Generative Fill can take a piece of the image that we selected and render something. But I've also heard that it can render something out of nothing, meaning that if I expand this out a little bit, maybe I want a wider image if my image was too narrow. If I expand it out here, and then let's say I select just the main portion that I want, and then I select the inverse, meaning I'm just selecting this white space here. Now I want Generative Fill to render in this image in a much wider format, right? So before it was rendering over a piece of the image that already existed. This time I'm asking it to generate something completely out of nothing and fill in the gaps on the right and the left side of this image. Okay, this one, I think this is okay, it's not the prettiest, it's a little choppy, but it's not terrible. So let's see what else it rendered. Okay, and let's go to the last one. Just kind of a different backdrop here. I kind of like this one. Wait, maybe not. I kind of like this one. I think the grass blends in a little bit better. Let's see if once again, if I select here, if I can get rid of these blurry images. Okay, so let's see if I can get rid of kind of the blurriness that exists between these images and see if I can stitch it together better. Okay, yeah, this looks a lot better there. And I'm going to try to do the same thing over here. Now, all I'm doing right now, we're not, like I said, we're not quite at the dashboarding level. I'm just trying to understand what I can and can't do. So far, like I said, we've been able to create something out of nothing, right? Extend the background where it didn't exist before. And then we've been able to change parts of the image that we didn't like and render something completely new from it. And yeah, so this would be my final image here. So this is what it was before. And let's start to peel back some of the layers. All right, we started off with this. We replaced a part of our image here. We enhanced it by giving it an actual text prompt. We set flower garden. Then we extended it out to create a wider image. And then we smoothed out the edges here. Pretty neat tool. But now I want to see how I might be able to leverage this as a developer. Can it give me any sort of insights or any sort of help in what I do for a profession, which is I'm a Power BI developer. All right, so now let me load an image of a few different dashboard templates that I had here. This is also an AI generated image that I grabbed from Midjourney, but let's see if we can use generative fill in the same way. So first, let me extend this image out to here. Let's go out to there. And then let's see what this can generate off this blank background here. So I'm going to go ahead and select this white space here, which is the space that I don't really like. And so let's just do generative fill. I'm not going to give it any sort of prompting. I just want to see what the computer renders if it takes a few of these different templates. Okay, so it looks like it sampled the colors and it took samples of maybe the squares, the pictures, but it didn't really generate something useful on that first one or on this second one or even on this third one. So as far as generating something out of nothing and being able to match perhaps the rest of my image, I don't really like this. This doesn't really help me too much. Maybe it'll help me grab, I don't know, colors, but let's see if we can do it again and maybe give it a prompting. Let's just enter data, dashboard, graphs, and generate. Okay, so at least it grabbed the graph concept part of it. Okay, so as far as using it as a tool to create something out of nothing, I can't say that I really liked this right here. But there's more than just generating the background, right? We also said we could try to manipulate parts of the image. So let's see if maybe that is better. Let's select this section here. Let's say I'm a developer and I like this template, but I want to mock something else up in here. I don't really like whatever these tables or let's say I want to see what a pie chart would look like in here. So I'm going to put pie chart graph. Generate and see if it gives me a decent looking pie chart within this template here. Okay, so it looks like it did sample the colors. It did give me its best attempt at a pie chart. Another one, and this one looks like a little bit more 3D. Okay, now is this useful for me as a developer? Well, it might be useful for me to sample what different graphs and charts might look like on a particular template. Let's just say over here, I don't really like this text. I kind of want to see what a line chart would look like here. All right, so that actually looks kind of cool. Once again, this is just a computer generated image. So it looks like it has different bar graphs. Not really sure what that is right there, but I like this one and I like this one here too. I can tell it's sampling the colors and I can tell it's sampling the background, but not only that, what's kind of impressive is that it knows to leave gaps. Like it knows that these are different sections, right? Over here, this is all one image. It looks like it's all one giant graph, but here it is sectioning it off. Once again, is this useful in my job as a Power BI developer? I think it's useful if you are perhaps trying to imagine what a template would look like, or if you're in marketing and you're trying to figure out what colors, what shapes, what graphs, what work, what doesn't work. All right, so we've seen it be able to generate at least parts of the graphs and chart. It didn't really generate anything well when it was a completely blank section of the image, but let's see how it handles generating perhaps an actual person. Actually, let me enhance my selection here. Okay, there we go. Let's just say I didn't really like the image of this muscular looking gentleman. So I'm going to change it, and I'm going to just enter female athlete. Let's see if it can generate a realistic looking person on top of what looks to be some sort of data graph, right? Data template here. Okay, that's actually kind of cool. So same thing, one thing that I'm noticing is that it knows that this image is in front of everything else, because you can see the athlete is in front of the graphs and the charts. Same thing here. It places the athlete in front. It grabs the colors. It grabs the general shape of things. And this one too. Not very realistic looking, but I like the icon here. What about this guy here? Maybe this guy here. Let's say male athlete and see what it renders. All right, that's actually kind of cool. So we went from this athlete here to sort of this athlete. It does still generally generate graphs and charts in the background. That's kind of cool too, except for now we've gone away from the actual dashboard and we've gone more to just an athlete image. But it is kind of neat. Now remember, everything on here is AI generated. None of this was generated by anyone. I used Midjourney to generate the original template, and then we've been using Generative Fill in Photoshop to fill in little parts here and there. I think this is kind of cool. I can start to sort of play around with at least the look and feel of some of these graphs and some of these charts. Once again, as far as generating a random background, I don't think it was really useful. But as far as sampling little parts of the graphs and charts, I think it's actually kind of cool. Once again, this isn't a tutorial on how to leverage this tool in your job as a developer. I actually just wanted to explore and get some of this on video so that you can see what you can or can't perhaps do with Generative Fill. So far, what I've learned is that I have found that some parts of the tool are useful and helpful, and other parts I don't think are quite as relevant. It obviously seems to be a tool that is very catered to photographers, but I do see ways in which it can help me as a Power BI developer, especially if I load my own custom Power BI template onto here. I can start to just use the AI capabilities to generate different graphs and charts just to mock it and see what it would look like. Let me know in the comments what you think, if you've used Generative Fill. Once again, thanks for watching. If you've stuck around this long, feel free to like the video and subscribe. It supports the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you.